Welcome to Tracking the Week. On Monday, President Bola Tinubu, deeply moved by the inhumane treatment endured by the Super Eagles of Nigeria at a Libyan airport, warmly welcomes their safe return to Nigeria. The harrowing experience of the national football team at the hands of their host and the Libyan authorities prompted the Nigerian Football Federation to withdraw the Super Eagles from the scheduled match on Tuesday. Bayo Ononuga, special advisor to the President Information and Strategy, in a statement said President Tinubu expressed the disciplinary board of the Confederation of African Football (CAF) to conduct a thorough investigation and recommend appropriate action against those who willfully violated the organization's statutes and regulations. Ononuga said the President commends the proactive coordination between the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and the Federal Ministry of Sports Development in addressing the unfortunate episode and ensuring the safe return of their players. He said President Tinubu applauds the players for keeping their spirit alive despite the excruciating ordeal in Libya. Also on Monday, the Nigerian Police Force (NPF) declared its readiness to redesign and rebuild the Falomo Police Barrack in Lagos State through a public-private partnership (PPP) initiated under former IGP Usman Akali Baba. The force declared that the new arrangement would be spearheaded with the support of Inspector General of Police Olukayode Egbetoko. Correspondent Kunle Ojo reported that the force public relations officer Mulumuyiwa Adejobi, while addressing journalists in Abuja, said the nationwide assessment revealed that less than 25% of police personnel have adequate housing, with 90% of barracks in severe disrepair. He said, contrary to reports, no officers were forcefully evicted from Falomo barracks, noting that occupants were given notice, provided relocation assistance, and compensated with 2 million naira each for alternative housing, with monthly rent allowances. They will be allowed units in the new facilities upon completion. On Tuesday, the Transmission Company of Nigeria said the ongoing restoration of the national grid, which collapsed on Monday, is ongoing and almost completed. The TCN said that the national grid experienced a partial disturbance on Monday at about 6:48 p.m., adding that efforts to fully recover the grid are still ongoing. The Public Affairs General Manager of TCN, Didimba, said in a press statement that it restored supply fully to Abuja. The statement read that although the recovery of the grid commenced immediately with the Azura Power Station providing the Black Start grid recovery, which advanced state at about 10:24 a.m. on Tuesday, when it encountered the challenge that caused a slight setback in the recovery process. The press statement said supply had been restored to the Abuja axis and other major distribution load centers nationwide. Also on Tuesday, the federal government inaugurated the 7-man reconstituted renegotiation committee on the 2009 agreement between the federal government and the Academic Staff Union of Universities. The inauguration, which was performed by the Minister of Education on behalf of President Bola Tinubu, was attended by stakeholders in the education sector, including representatives of all unions involved in the agreement. Correspondent Kunle Ojo reports that the Minister of Education, Professor Taye Mamman, while commending the leadership of the unions for their commitment to the advancement of the education sector, solicited the support for the timely completion of the assignment. He restated the commitment of the federal government to see the agreement wrapped up and see the light of the day. On Wednesday, Vice President Senator Kashim Shettima was to depart Abuja for Sweden on a 2-day visit to represent Nigeria in bilateral engagement with the Scandinavian nation. At the instance of President Bola Tinubu, the Vice President, during the working visit, will engage in high-level bilateral talks with key government officials, including a meeting with Crown Princess Victoria of Sweden and the Swedish Prime Minister. Senator Shettima will use the visit to explore opportunities for threatened collaboration between Nigeria and Sweden in areas of ICT, innovation, education, digitization, sustainable transport, mining and agriculture. Senior Special Assistant to the President on Media and Publicity, Office of the Vice President, Stanley Nkocha, in a statement said the Vice President will also meet with key stakeholders in both the government and private sector. Still on Wednesday, the House of Representatives urged the federal government to reverse the recent petrol price hike, citing the increased hardship on Nigerians. The House also called for measures to stabilize petrol and cooking gas prices, such as temporary relief, tax reductions or subsidies for low-income households. In a motion sponsored by 101 members, the House asked the Nigeria National Petroleum Corporation Limited and other agencies to expedite refinery repairs and boost local refining to reduce reliance on imported fuel. They also urged the Central Bank of Nigeria to implement policies that would curb the inflationary effect of fuel price hike on essential goods. The government was further encouraged to explore alternative energy sources and promote renewable energy to reduce dependence on petrol and gas. State governments were asked to alleviate the financial burden by waiving tax on transportation and goods affected by fuel cost. On Thursday, President of the Senate, Godswill Akpabio, the assurances of loyalty to the leadership of Akpabio by the senators followed social media reports that some aggrieved senators from the North plan to impeach the Senate president, raising a point of order on the floor of Thursday's plenary. A former leader of the Senate, Yahya Abdullahi, drew the attention of his colleague to a publication which claimed the Northern senators were behind the impeachment plot against Akpabio. Correspondent Kunle Ojo reported that the senator claimed that such an allegation was a breach of his constitutional right as a citizen and lawmaker representing Kebbi North. He said the allegation that Northern senators were plotting Akpabio's removal has put a dent on his reputation and the integrity. Still on Thursday, the Joint Admissions and Matriculation Board (JAMB) granted permission to tertiary institutions to continue the admission process for candidates who are 16 years old until August 2025. JAMB in a statement explained that the decision was to ensure equity because of those institutions whose 2024 admission exercise will last till August 2025. JAMB in a statement recorded that the issue of tertiary institution was deliberatingly decided at the 2024 policy meeting to be 16 years old for the 2024-2025 academic session, which subsequently the cut-off date was put on the 31st of December 2024. JAMB stated that it had taken cognizance that due to different reasons, some institutions expected the 2024-25 admission to run through July 2025, adding that without compromising the standard or infringing on individual institutions' admission policy, the board has now decided to allow any willing institution to admit candidates who will be 16 years old by 31st of August 2025, as long as the standard set by the institution qualifies such candidates but cannot be admitted only because of age. On Friday, Justice Mary Aneni of the High Court of the Federal Capital Territory allowed the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission (EFCC) to present two witnesses virtually in the trial of former Governor of Central Bank of Nigeria, Godwin Emefiele. In a ruling, the Justice granted the EFCC's application in which it sought the court's permission to be allowed to view the witnesses who are currently abroad through video link. The EFCC is prosecuting Emefiele on 6-count charge of unlawfully printing new naira notes, among others. At Friday's proceeding, counsel to the EFCC told the court that the two witnesses the prosecution planned to call next were based in the United States of America, USA. He informed the court that his team encountered difficulties in bringing the witnesses to Nigeria and sought to file a motion to have the oral evidence of the witnesses taken via Zoom or other video platforms. Lastly, on Friday, House of Representatives resolved to accelerate consideration of bill on the introduction of independent candidacy by referring it to the Special Ad Hoc Committee on Constitution Review. The private member bill was sponsored by Chairman House Committee on Media and Public Affairs, Honorable Akin Rotimi. Honorable Rotimi, while addressing House of Representatives press corps in Abuja, said the crucial legislation, which is a legal bill from previous assembly, was reintroduced for consideration following its first reading on Thursday, September 26, 2024. According to him, the bill proposes that for any citizen to contest the presidential election as an independent candidate, they must obtain the verified signatures of at least 20% of registered voters from each of the 36 states. And that's it on Track in the Week.